Okay, so let me tell you what I'm doing here today. I came in Sunday planning to give you a very cool episode on how a drill that I saw Ben Hogan give online changed my game, because I took note of the drill and I started to implement it in my swing, and I was hitting the ball so good. So I was all jazzed up to come and do a video episode 4 on how great that worked. Well, as it turned out, it was a horrible day. The wind was blowing, blew my camera over, my tripod. My microphone was basically useless. So I decided to film my swing, because I was still hitting it pretty good for February 5th or 6th, whatever the day was. And I was very happy with the way I was hitting them, especially the driver. And then I get home, look at the footage, and I got a major swing flaw in my swing. Basically, what I was doing with the driver was I was caving my right leg, which, if anybody knows anything about the golf swing, that's death, because your right leg, or your back leg if you're a lefty, that's your gas pedal. That propels you into the shot. That's like a pitcher throwing, he throws off his back leg and heaves it. Without the back leg in the golf swing, it'd be like just throwing a ball from there with no power. So the back leg is very important, and there I am buckling the thing. So now I got to go back to the drawing board. I got to fix that, see if I can fix it today. So I'm changing the episode to this episode, which will be 6. What to do when you take your swing apart and try to fix an element in it. What club do you use? That's what today's episode is going to be about. So. The way I take a swing apart and put it back together, depending on what's wrong with it, but if it's major, like a buckling of the back leg, or your pivot, your push-off leg, that's like your transmission. The way I attack it is to go back to ground zero, and for me, ground zero is a pitching wedge. Just start hitting little pitching wedges and try to figure out why I was buckling the leg. Before I got here, I kind of surmised that it was getting too much weight on the back leg, especially with the driver. And then although I don't believe I ever had the weight on the outside of the foot, but still, it was enough to buckle the leg. I mean, you can look at it on a thumbnail. That's the picture of my leg buckling. So anyway, I come back to this with just the pitching wedge, and we're not going to keep so much weight on the back. We're going to try to keep the weight toward the front without tipping. This isn't stack and tilt. I need weight to get back, because I need to have something to push off. You can't push off the back leg if there's not a little weight back there. Anyway, it's got to keep it on the inside, but you got to have a little bit of weight, a little bit of leverage to hit. I mean, just ask these guys long drive guys. They're rocking it, rolling it, rocking it, rolling it. So I'm just going to hit a few wedges, concentrating on my weight toward the front. Not even full wedges. We're starting really from scratch here. That was good. I drop kicked it. I mean, it's only 40 degrees here still, so. Woo! But it's February and I'm not like sitting on my couch waiting for the Super Bowl to come. So, there we go. So I'm just hitting those, I don't know, 50 yards. That's a 50-yard shot just to get back to some kind of form. And a wedge is not an easy club to hit. Some people say because it's so short, it's easy. No, you gotta hit a wedge crisp. By the way, let me get off topic for a minute. Because I have muscular problems in my back and legs, it hurts me to bend over too much and swing and swing and swing. And I didn't know how I was going to fix that problem. And one day, I went to the golfer's warehouse and I picked out a set of clubs off the rack. And I was hitting the heck out of them. I couldn't believe it. I was hitting them like shoom, 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 darts. I said, what's this? I love these, but what's this club I just pulled out the rack and then I put another club next to it, and the club I had pulled off the rack, it was in the demonstrator area, had an extra inch on the shaft. And I said, ooh, I don't have to be down here and my back's killing me. I got an extra inch on here. Well, since that day, I've actually added another half inch. So my irons, for those of you who have trouble bending over because of back problems or muscular problems, add some, just do it one club. Try it out. Put an inch on it and see if you hit them better. I got an inch and a half on these. These are pings. And I went to the, after I did that, I went to the yellow, ping yellows, which is a flatter lie, but the other one was too upright with the extra length, so I went to the yellows. And if you're curious, these are Rapture V2s, probably what, 2004 clubs, and I love them. And I got medium dry tacks on there. That's why I don't need a glove, not with these. These are so soft, they're unbelievable. But this isn't a dry tack commercial. Okay, I'm a little off balance, but I'm hitting them right in the middle of the club. And I think, I'll have to check the footage, I think my right foot or my right leg is hanging in there. I just think I was drifting a little off course. That was hit nice. I pinched it and it stopped right in, unless it's muddy. But let's say it's not muddy. Let's say it came back a little bit. So I'm just going to continue hitting these wedges. And then I'm going to switch clubs. I'm going to go up to an 8-iron, hit the 8-iron. I have a bit of a surprise. I actually hit the 8-iron so well, I jumped to a my Cobra hybrid, 5.4 hybrid, because I don't want to bore you. This isn't watch Tony hit golf balls day. This is figure out what I'm doing and hopefully get my right leg back to where it should be. So I'm going right to the hit the 8-irons. I'm going to the hybrid, and then hopefully I'll hit some drivers and see how my drivers look. See if I'm still caving on my drivers. That was good, but it was push. It was a push shot. I'm not used to having that much weight on my front foot, and I'm blocking it a little bit. I'm going to try to get a little more weight on the back foot and then transfer that through. Put a little bit back and then come in. See if that helps me. I was a little thin. By the way, I got a pet peeve with the some people in the golf industry. They sell this spray. You spray your club because you want to know where you hit it. I mean, if you've played golf any length of time, I know I've played over 50 years, but if you've played any length of time, you know exactly where you hit it on the club. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're brand new to the game and you can't figure out where you hit it on the club, okay, but I know exactly where I hit it on the club. In fact, sometimes in my yard, I use plastic wiffle balls, right? Or those birdie balls. You ever try those birdie balls? They're very good. They look like napkin holders. But anyway, they're very good too. I know where a birdie ball hits the face of my club when I swing. You don't need any spray. You'll feel it. I mean, you'll feel it. Anyway, maybe today's vent day. I know I was hit right in the center, but I chunked it a hair. It's gonna be a process. It's gonna be a process for me to not let so much weight on my back foot so I'm not caving. This is, Rome was not built in a day. So I'm not going to joke with you and say, oh, I'm hitting pure, I'm hitting beautiful. No, this is golf. I'm 65 years old. I'll get it. Plus, it's 38 degrees, and I'm waiting for the Super Bowl next week. So I'm so happy just to be out here. Woo! Big rig. You start hitting them good, and you want to kill. You want to kill the damn thing. It's all about rhythm. I mean, I'm not a Bryce DeChambeau, you know what I mean? Not anymore, anyway. I'm going to take the club. I'm going to close the club coming off my takeaway and see if that fixes the push shot. Because if I'm not pushing it, I got a slight fade to it. Yeah, okay. So what I was doing, I was fanning the club a little bit. You know what I mean by fanning? Fanning, when you fan yourself, you go like this. Or when you fan the club, instead of keeping it straighter on the way back. And yeah. That's it. That's money in my pocket. So here we are, the wrap up. Well, after it was all said and done, I was pleased that I accomplished some things with the shorter clubs, but I hit some drivers off camera and I still was leaking sway off that right leg. So I have to work on that some more. And it's a balance issue with me because I'm not used to having that much weight on my front foot. Um, so I lose my balance easier. But that's something I have to deal with because, as many of you know, I'm an adaptive golfer. And we're different. We're built different. We have different issues. I know some pros out there are saying, well, why don't you just turn your hips more, make a better pivot? If I could, I would. If I could make a bigger shoulder turn, if I could have a bigger backswing, if I could, I would. That's the whole point. I mean, I'm going to dive deep into swing plane because I actually have a great swing plane because that's what helps me hit the ball straight as an arrow. And those that play with me know I hit it straight as an arrow. Um, so I was a little disappointed, but I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to figure it out. If you have any questions out there and you want me to deal with certain topics of episodes, just tell me, and we'll see if we can do that. I'm going to get back to the Ben Hogan tip because it just blew me out of the water. I think he gave it in 1952. So that was just before he won the Grand Slam. But that was then. This is now. We have a new game with new equipment and new courses and new senior tees that I hope you're playing. Because why torture yourself? Play the senior tees if you're a senior. Um, Thank you for the support. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to keep on doing these videos if great topics come up and I can get my head together. It's a lot of work, but I'm happy to do it because I love it. I love the game. And I know you do too. So until next time, don't give up. Keep swinging. Keep working at it. It'll get better. It will. I'll show you how to do it. And until we see each other again, hit 'em well.